Alright, we are back for some more UFC 5 here on the channel. Today we've got how UFC 5 predicts the notorious Conor McGregor taking on Iron Michael Chandler. The fight that is currently rumored to be around UFC 300. I believe will be the main event of that card we will have right now here in UFC 5. And folks, if you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more UFC 5 here in the channel. We'll have more videos like this. I've got some ideas in store for this game along with maybe some career mode as well. So make sure to keep it locked in with the channel, folks. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like. Let's get into the presentation before the fight, and then I'll talk to you when the fight does actually get going.
Well, as you'd expect, a Super Bowl feel in this arena here tonight because the biggest superstar in mixed martial arts history, Conor McGregor, is back. The celebrities are out in droves, all of them to see the former two-division UFC champion, the notorious Conor McGregor.
The stars always come out when the notorious one steps in the octagon, and he's earned that right. He is the biggest star in mixed martial arts, not only in mixed martial arts, but in sports across all platforms. One of the best fighters the UFC has ever seen. Not only a great fighter, but a great spokesman, a great salesman, and a guy that people always want to see.
And DC, we know you move that celebrity needle, but you don't move it like Conor McGregor.
Not like the notorious one.
We talk so much about his star power and what he's done for the sport, and rightfully so, that sometimes we don't spend enough time talking about just how skilled a fighter this is when it comes to distance management, the striking skills. We'll see how it goes for him here in the return tonight. McGregor, the sport's biggest superstar, once again ready to engage in a big spot here tonight. All right, here we go with the former UFC title challenger, Iron Michael Chandler. Daniel, you guys go way back. Obviously, we can talk about the athletic credentials. Some, though, have questioned his fight IQ in some of his big fights in the UFC.
Well, it seems like he wants to fight the fun fight, right, opposed to the fight that would seem to make sense to him. But let me tell you something, I'm not complaining. I enjoy every Michael Chandler fight. I enjoy watching this guy go out there and fight on his shield. He has A-plus skills across the board, and let's see how he applies them to the fight tonight.
And even in losses against high-level competition, he has had big moments. You do get the sense that Michael Chandler may always be just one win away from that elusive shot at the title yet again. Michael Chandler set to fight the notorious Conor McGregor. And now our tale of the tape for this lightweight scrap. We go inside the octagon. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, presenting the former UFC featherweight champion of the world and the former UFC lightweight champion, the notorious Conor McGregor. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Iron Michael Chandler.
So if you missed our last video here with UFC 5, I did mention it was a video with Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland. By the way, I'll be playing with Conor McGregor in this video just because I felt like it. I don't know. Even though I'll talk about this fight like in actual depth, the real life fight, and who I think would actually win. By the way, I have to fight this fight at lightweight, considering the game does not allow you to have Michael Chandler fight at 170 pounds, where again, this fight will likely take place because I doubt Conor's cutting to 155. I don't think Chandler wants to cut weight either. This has been talked about being the fight at middleweight. I think that's stupid. I think they should fight at 170. I think it's likely where the fight will be. And again, you see Chandler starting to wrestle with Conor, and that's probably what you'll see as well. I mean, I know Michael Chandler, again, known for creating fun fights. I think they say that in the commentary as well. I think they said that when Michael Chandler was walking out to the octagon. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how Chandler fights. You saw that in the Dustin Poirier fight, the Justin Gaethje fight. A lot of these fights that Chandler has, he rocks Conor. They are wars in the feet, and again, Michael Chandler does have that wrestling base, just doesn't always go out there and showcase it. But what I said yesterday in that video with Sean Strickland and Hamzat Chimaev is that the graphics and the presentation, I think, for this game are really good. I think the gameplay is still lacking. Obviously, I went over my list of fighters in the last video of who aren't in this video game. I think I might make a separate video talking about all the fighters who should be in UFC 5 that aren't. As you see Chandler looking for a takedown, and he gets it against Conor. I think that's going to be a huge factor when this fight actually does take place. I think we're thinking when UFC 300's around April of next year, as I have to go into the settings and change things because, of course, the grappling assist isn't exactly right. But I think when we look at that fight, you see Conor's last fight against Dustin Poirier. Poirier's able to get Conor down in that first round. Obviously, the fight ends because of the leg kick, or Conor snaps his ankle at the end of the first round. But again, Poirier had success with the wrestling. He had success in terms of positioning over Conor. That's something that Michael Chandler's going to have to do as well, right? I know, again, Chandler, it's not necessarily how he wants to fight. I go back to the Dustin Poirier fight where he has Poirier with the takedown instead of just basically looking for positioning. He goes for the slam instead, which eventually leads Poirier to better positioning on the ground. I think if Chandler fights this fight smart, he can definitely win. On the feet, I would give the striking advantage as a whole to Conor McGregor, just because I think McGregor's striking, technically sound is better, but power-wise, I'd still go Michael Chandler. I think Chandler hits maybe harder than anybody in the weight class. I mean, you saw what he was able to do to Tony Ferguson. He landed some bombs against Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, but it just shows you the chins of both of those guys. And you saw the way he was able to sleep Dan Hooker as well, all the way back in 2021 as well, in the same card where Conor lost to Dustin Poirier in their second fight. It was Conor's first loss to Dustin as well. But again, it's dependent on what Conor we do get. McGregor, obviously, we'll see what he does at 170 pounds. We saw him in the Cowboy fight back in 2020 at 170 pounds. He looked good. Obviously, that was a Cowboy coming off losses to Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje, so it was the third of his losing streak. But we'll just see. I think, again, as you see Chandler with the advantage on the ground at the end of the first round, I would say this is probably a Chandler round. He rocked Conor in the first. He ended the fight, or ended the first round with back positioning on Conor McGregor, so I'd give this first round to Michael Chandler. And I think, again, if this fight happens, I don't know if necessarily that's what we are going to see, considering, again, how Chandler fights. However, the CPU is not checking a single leg kick I am throwing with Conor McGregor. Like, Chandler is not checking anything as we now go into the second round. Might play a factor. That's probably the first one that Chandler has checked in this entire fight. But there you go again. Chandler going to fall over to the leg kicks. McGregor really working it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how many leg kicks more Chandler can take as he goes back to the wrestling. He is going to get it in half guard, but Conor trying to get back up. 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. I do not anticipate this one going the full 5. Again, I said in the last video, I think grappling, I mean, for the most part, it is the same. I think where this game did improve would be with the submission defense. You don't automatically get locked into the mini game. Instead, you get to fight for positioning on the ground, which I think is pretty good. So, again, Chandler's legs are cooked. Conor, probably a couple more, just do it. Yep, there you go again. Chandler falls. McGregor going to keep going for it because Chandler does not check anything. With 3 minutes to go here in the second round. Conor goes up, he lands, still looking. McGregor, leg kick, drops Chandler once more. Another one. Herb Dean's got to wave it off. Of course, he doesn't step in there. Conor just backs off, and that's your fight. The notorious Conor McGregor beats Michael Chandler. If he actually won in real life, where does that put Conor legitimately? I don't know. The UFC would love to just throw him into a title fight. Who is the world champion at this point in time? I mean, likely it would be, I think, either Islam Makhachev or Justin Gaethje. I'm assuming that's the next title fight at 155 pounds. Does Conor get next? I don't know. You might look at the welterweight division. Colby Covington, Leon Edwards. I think the UFC would love to do a money fight between Colby and Conor if Colby does beat Leon. But again, that's all to come. Folks, thank you for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba, forever.
All right, now we go inside the octagon. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean is going to stop to this contest at 1 minute, 57 seconds of round number 2. declaring the winner by TKO, the notorious Conor McGregor.